Mark had never been the type to snoop. He trusted his wife, Sarah, with every fiber of his being. Their 10-year marriage had seen its fair share of ups and downs, but he always believed in the love they shared. That is, until one evening when everything changed. It was a Tuesday, an ordinary day like any other. Mark had just finished his shift at the auto shop and decided to stop by the grocery store to pick up some essentials before heading home. As he pulled into the driveway, he noticed Sarah's car parked at an odd angle, as if she had rushed inside in a hurry. Normally, she was meticulous about parking straight. Curious, but not suspicious yet, Mark walked into the house, greeted by the smell of dinner cooking. Sarah was in the kitchen, acting normal, as if nothing had changed. But something was off. Mark couldn't put his finger on it, but his gut told him something wasn't right. Later that night, when Sarah went upstairs to shower, Mark remembered she had asked him to grab something from her car earlier that week. It was a small request, but one he had forgotten about. Figuring he'd take care of it now, he grabbed her car keys and walked outside. As he opened the car door, the first thing he noticed was the faint smell of cologne, one that he didn't wear. His heart pounded in his chest as he glanced around the interior. His eyes landed on the passenger seat, where a crumpled fast food bag lay. But that wasn't what caught his attention. It was what was on the floor beside it. A used condom wrapper. Mark's breath hitched. His mind raced, his chest tightened. He reached down, pinching the corner of the wrapper as if it might burn him. His stomach churned. There was no denying what this meant. His wife had been with another man. In her car. In their shared life. His hands trembled as he put the wrapper back exactly as he found it. He took a deep breath, steadying himself. Anger boiled within him, but he wasn't the type to explode. No, Mark was going to handle this with precision. He was going to make sure Sarah regretted every second of her betrayal. He walked back into the house, his face unreadable. Sarah, fresh from the shower, was sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Mark joined her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders, pressing a kiss to her temple. She smiled up at him, completely unaware that he knew her secret. "I was thinking," he said casually, "maybe we should do something special this weekend. A little getaway?" Her eyes lit up. "That sounds nice," she said, leaning into him. "Where to?" "Oh, I have something perfect in mind." For the next few days, Mark played the role of the doting husband. He went about his routine as if nothing had happened, but behind the scenes, he was planning his revenge. Come Saturday, he suggested they take separate cars since he had to run a few errands first. Sarah agreed without hesitation. She had no idea what was coming. Mark arrived at the hotel first. He had already arranged everything. Rose petals on the bed, champagne on the nightstand, and a special surprise waiting for her in the bathroom. When Sarah finally arrived, she smiled, walking into the beautifully set-up room. "Wow, this is amazing," she said, turning to Mark. He smiled back, but there was no warmth in it. "Go check out the bathroom," he suggested. Confused but intrigued, Sarah walked into the bathroom. Her breath caught in her throat when she saw what was waiting for her. On the counter sat the used condom wrapper, carefully placed in a clear Ziploc bag, next to a note in Mark's handwriting that read, "Found this in your car. Hope you enjoyed your time. I sure won't be sticking around for more of it." Sarah's face drained of color. She turned around, her lips parting to speak, but Mark was already walking toward the door, a packed suitcase in hand. "Mark, wait," she started, panic setting in. But he didn't wait. He didn't need to hear the excuses, the lies, or the inevitable begging. He had given her a love she had betrayed. And now he was giving her something else, her freedom, whether she wanted it or not. As he stepped out into the fresh night air, Mark took a deep breath. It hurt, but he knew he deserved better. And he was finally going to find it. Over the next few weeks, Mark focused on himself. He filed for divorce immediately, refusing to give Sarah any chance to explain. Her family tried to intervene, pleading with him to at least have a conversation with her, but he was done. He moved into a small apartment closer to his job, throwing himself into work to distract from the pain. Sarah, on the other hand, was in full damage control mode. She called, texted, even showed up at his new place, begging him to listen. Mark ignored every attempt. He had made up his mind. One evening, he met up with his best friend, Jake, at a local bar. Jake had been his rock through everything, giving him the support he needed. "You look better, man," Jake said, clinking his beer against Mark's. "Starting to feel like yourself again?" Mark nodded. "Yeah, I think so. It still hurts, but I know I did the right thing." Jake smirked. "You definitely did." She played herself. "But hey, this is your chance to start fresh. No more lies, no more wondering." Mark took a sip of his beer, considering his friend's words. He had spent so much time being a devoted husband that he had forgotten what it was like to focus on himself. Maybe it was time to embrace the unknown, to take control of his own happiness. The road ahead wasn't going to be easy, but Mark was ready for it. He had been broken, betrayed, but he was far from defeated. He was moving on one step at a time,